God bless everyone. My name is Karen J. Pompo. So today I'm going to discuss the weighted voting system. So weighted voting system occurs when the votes have an equal weight on the outcome of an election. We can see examples of weighted voting system in corporations, legislatures, U.S. presidential election, European Union, and the United Nations Security Council. The weighted voting system is denoted with a W is characterized by three elements. First is the player, and second is the quota number and the weights of each voters. Conveniently, it can be expressed as follows. First is the bracket. Second is a quota number and the first player, followed by second player and the third player, and then the weight of the voting system. Example, a company has 4 shareholders. Mr. Ed has 35% ownership. Ms. Silang has 20%. Mr. Ramil has 31% ownership, and Ms. Malu has 14%. There is a motion to decide where best to invest their savings. The company's bylaws define the quota as 59. So the question is, what does this voting system look like? So, bracket, and then the copy 59. And then the 35% is the first company shareholders, and the second is 20, and the third is 31, and the fourth is 14. So this is the quota, and the first is first shareholders, and the second shareholders, and the third is third shareholders, fourth shareholders.
God bless everyone. I am Novalis Rosemary, and for today I will discuss about the Electoral College. But before we start, I should read the historical note. The U.S. Constitution, Article 2, Section 1 states that the members of the Electoral College elect the President of the United States. The original article directed members of the college to vote for 2 people. However, it did not stipulate that one name was for Vice President. The article goes on to state that the person with the greatest number of votes becomes President, and the one with the next highest number of votes becomes Vice President. In 1800, Thomas Jefferson and Aaron Burr received exactly the same amount, the same number of votes, even though they were running Jefferson for President, Burr for Vice President. Thank you. Thus, the House of Representatives was asked to select the President. It took 36 different. So, voted by the House before Jefferson was elected President in 1804, the 12th Amendment of the Constitution was ratified to prevent a reoccurrence for the 1800 election problem. As mentioned in historical term, the Electoral College elects the President of the United States. The number of electors representing each state is equal to the sum of the number of senators and the number of members in the House of Representatives for that state. The original intent of the pharmaceutical Constitution was to protect the smaller state. We can verify this by computing the number of people represented by each elector in the 2010 election. Each Vermont elector represented about 209,000 people. So, and 677,000 people to see how this giving the state a smaller population, more power. For a while, we will discuss more detail later. So, another peculiarity related to the Electoral College system is that it is very sensitive to small vote weights for the incomes in the 2000 election in additional, and the votes of Florida had cast their votes for ID Gory instead of George Bush. Gory would have won presidential election. shares and C owns 10 shares. If a vote of 51 or a greater is required to approve any measure before the owners, then a measure cannot be passed without 2 of the 3 owners voting for the measure. Even though C has voted 10 shares, C has the same voting power as A and B. Now, suppose that a new stockholder is brought into the company and the shares of the company are redistributed so that A has 27 shares, B has 26 shares, and C has 25 shares, and D has 22 shares. Now, in this case, that are any two of AB, C, or AB, C can pass a measure but D prepared with any other shareholders cannot pass a measure D. Has virtually no power even though D has only 3 shares less than C. The number of votes that are required to pass a measure is called a quota. Ano siya? We call it siya quota. For the two stockholder example above, the quota was 51. An example is above the quota is 51. Ang answer dito sa PICAS, 51. The weight of the vote is the number of the votes controlled by the voter in case of the company whose stock was claimed. A is 27 and B is 26, C is 25, and D is 22. And this four number after the colon indicate that there are a total of 4 voters in this system. Ano siya? Kaning 4 na numbers, ano siya ang total sa 4 voters system, ano siya ang weights. And kaning 51, mauna siya ang total. And this notation is very convenient. We state its more general form in the following definition.
Weighted voting system. A weighted voting system of n voters is written as bracket Q weights 1, 2, and so on, where Q is the quota and weight 1 through weight n represent the weights of each of the n voters. Quota must be half of the total weights. For example, ang total weight nato is 100. So, i-divide nato siya og 2 equals 50. So, 50 ang ato ang quota. Dapat ang ato ang makuha ng mga vote is 51, 52, 53, and so on. Basta dili lang mulapas og 100. Example, a company has 4 shareholders. Mrs. Gomez has 35% ownership. Ms. Reyes has 20%. Mr. Tai has 31% ownership. And Mrs. Ramirez has 14% of ownership. There is a motion to decide where the best to invest their savings. The company's bylaw define the quota as 59%. What does this voting system look like? Nag-vote sila para kung asa ang pinaka-the best na ma-invest ilang savings. First natong ibutang bracket dayon ang quota. Ang quota is 59. Then isunod dayon nato ang mga weights. Una kang Mrs. Gomez which is 35%. Kang Miss Reyes 20%. Kang Mr. Tai 31%. And the last, kang Mrs. Ramirez, 14%. Kung i-add nimo ang
kang Mrs. Gomez o kang Miss Reyes, ang equal nga makuha is 55. So, ilang weights dili kaabot sa kuta. So, kailangan pa nila og isa ka weights either sa third person or sa fourth person. Using this notation, we can describe various voting system. So ang voting system is naapod siya kanya-kanya ngalan. Dirita sa pinakauna. Ang one person, one vote mo siya ang pinakaunang voting system. You can see 9 ang iya ang quota, then ang iya ang weights is equal ra. So, kung equal ang weights, ang tawag ana niya is one person, one vote. Kay sa isa ka botar, isa ra pud ka person. Sa ikaduha, dictatorship. If ang isa ka weights minglapas na sa kuta, ang tawag ana niya is dictatorship. Bale, siya dili magmatter ang ubang weights, sa iya ra magbase. Bale, kumbaga siya ang majority. Ayon sa ikatulo, if ang overall total sa weights dili kaabot sa kuta, gitawag na siya og invalid or null system. Ang kuta is 25. Dayon 5, kung i-add nimo sila, wala na siya kaabot og 25. Kung i-add na nimo sila is 19 ra. So, invalid siya or gitawag siya null system. Ang ikaupat na voting system is veto power system. Kini nga system, if dili mo vote ang isa ka voter sa ilaa, dili nila makuha ang ilaang quota. Kini nga system, dapat gyud mo vote gyud ang isa ka voter ani. Dili siya pwede dili. Kay dili ma-reach ang ilaang goal or quota nga naka-set. Mao to siya ang mga voting system.
God bless everyone. So I am Ivy Jean H. Candog. So now let's proceed the topic of UN Security Council and application of inequalities. With Ferdinand Marcos, we assembled to all the nation in our country. So now, the United Nations of Security of Council consists of 5 permanent members, which is United States, China, France, Great Britain, and all of these 5 council unites the all security of council. But the 10 members that are elected by the General Assembly for a 2 years of term. 2 years. And in 2010, the 10 non-permanent members were Bosnia and Herzegovina, Brazil, Colombia, Gabon, Germany, India, Lebanon, Nigeria, Portugal, and South Africa. And all of this I mentioned is the non-permanent members of the nation. So now, here's my example. So, 4x plus 10 greater than 5x plus 4. So, the 10x greater than x plus 4. 6 is greater than the x. So, the smallest whole number is greater than 6 is 7. So the next number of 6 is greater than 7. Therefore, the weight of x each of permanent members is 7. So let's substitute in 7. The 6 will greater than himuon siya 7 because ang 6, ang sunod sa 6 is 7. So now, substituting 7 for x into5x plus 4 and 4x plus 10, we find that q equals 38 because thus the weight voting system of the Security of Council is given by, here's the answer, because 39 is gikuha siya dari sa q 5x plus 4 and 4x plus 10, we find is the answer is 39, is q equals 39. So now 39 is 7 because 7 is the next number of 6, which is 6 is greater than 6. I know 6 is greater than 7. So now here's the answer, 7. 1, you know what is 1? 1 because ikuha siya dire sa 10 because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Dili siya ikuha. And that's all. I hope you have learned with my discussion. That's all. Thank you.
So God bless Ma'am Malubay and also God bless to our classmate. And now I'm Aima Ginal, grade 1. Our topic today is about the Bansa Power Index. It include the voting system, weighted voting system. So another measure of power called the Bansa Power Index was derived by John F. Banshap III in 1965. The purpose of this index is to determine the power of a voter in a weighted voting system. So, the Banshap Power Index is the Banshap Power Index for a voter V symbolized by BVI, B as given by, this is the formula of Banshap Power Index. This kani ang formula o equation sa Banshap Power Index nato. So consider 4 people A, B, C, and D, and the 1 person, 1 voter systems given by naanapod tay kuan gihatag nga given diri sa kuan 1 table na tay winning collation, number of votes, critical voters. So atong kuan kani siya kani nga number 3, kani siya number 3, kani siya nga number 3 is mauna ang atong ginatawag na quota. Yung kani yung mga other, kaning ang other nga mga number is equivalent na siya sa mga letters of peoples. Kanang si E equivalent of 1, B equivalent of 1, C equivalent of 1, and D is equivalent of 1. So ato nang is-solve. So unsa di ining kuan sa Banshap Power Index. So ang atong daw hanapon pangitaon ani kani mga kabutang dire is the katong sa ang i-determine daw nato is kinsa tong mga critical voter. So kinsa diini sila atong ikuan sa direta kani ato ning unahon kani ABC sa winning collation siya, sila ang mga botante. So si ABC ikuan lang nato, i-plus lang nato siya, si A plus B plus C equals 3. Tulo ang nakaboto. So sila ang nahimong, sila tanan ang nakuan critical voter sila ngano kay ang atong quota man is nasulod nila, nakuha nila, mga critical voter na sila kay si quota ra man gud ang ato ang basihan ani. Don si kuan na pod kani EBD. Same ra gyapon siya. I-add lang gyapon sa himo siyang 3 mga critical voter pod sila. Then hantod ani si ECD o kuan ang nagboto pod sa 3, then ECD is mga critical voter pod sila. Ginatawag silang critical voters hantod ani kani siya. At least lang sa kaning last dili siya critical voter nga ano di ay kanang si EB CND is gi-add man sila, so nahimong 4 lagpas na siya sa atong quota nga nakabutang rin nga lagpas na siya sa quota, so nabutang dere is none, dili sila critical voter. Kay ang mahimong critical voter man is katong makakuha na sa quota nato. So let's proceed to find BPI-A. We look under the critical voters column and find that A is a critical voter 3 times. The number of times any voters is a critical voter, the denominator of the Bansa Power Index is 12. A is a critical voter 3 times, B is a critical voter 3 times, C is a critical voter 3 times, and D is a critical voter 3 times. The sum is 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 12. So, nga na po na 12 na siya. Okay? Nga na to siya na naimong 12. Kani man sila, kaning mga number of votes, gi-add na ni sila. Gipang-add na sila. Gi-add. Ay, dili ni apel ka na kanang upat ka 3. Gi-add na sila nga nung nahimo silang 12. Dayon, isolve na nato. Siya. Si, atong unahon si letter A. Atong letter A. So, Bansa Power Index E, 3 divided by 12 equals, nawaw na ni, 0.25. So, ngano di ay nga 3 man ang nadere kani nganong 3 because of nga so ngano nga ang 3 sa kan 3 divided by 12 kay naman ri A 1 2 3 sa letter A. Same ra gyapon po sa letter B nga 1 2 3 og sa letter C ug D 1 2 2 3 and 1 2 3 sila ang mga critical voters. So let's move on. Mauna na sila ha ato akong gikuan. Now, in this case, each voter has the sum power. This is expected in a voting system in which each voter has 1 vote. Now, suppose that 3 people A, B, and C belong a dictatorship by given. Napos lagi hatag nga given kani. Simragya ko nang yapon na. Mo na ang atong quota is always 3. Ang letter A is equivalent of 3, letter B equivalent of 1, letter C equivalent of 1. So, kana daw sila is mga dictatorship na sila. Dictatorship na sila, belong na sila sa dictatorship. So, punta. Dili na punta sa another table niya. So, na winning collation, number of votes, critical voter. So, ano na po ning kung anon kung kinsa ning critical voter, but tanan sila mga dictatorship. So, kuan si A itong unahon na A is kay isa raman siya diha, so A equals 3 ang nakuhang boto, then critical voter na siya kay na siya may nakakuan sa quota nato, quota. So 3 number 2 kanay si EB, then so 3 plus 1 equals 4 kanay 4 na siya, tabunan lang 4. So, si ilang jud ang critical voter na to. Si B, dili na siya ma-critical voter kay sobra naman. Ang pangitaon lang naman nato dire ay kinsaning critical voter. Simra Japon siya sa E and C. Si Irapod ang critical voter kay Foreman. O sa kanang si EBC, mas complicated nga si ilang jud ang atong critical voter. Kay 5 naman. So, ang nakatumbok naman sa critical voter dire sa atong quota ay si letter A raman, kaniraman letter A kana siya. Si letter A ra kani. Oh, kay 3 man equivalent na 3. Then ang atong quota is sa 3. 3 man ang atong quota. So, mora jud na. So, the sum of the numbers of critical voters in all winning coalition is 4. So, 4. Kaya nga nung 4. Kay, ang atong winning coalition man, ang letter A, 1. Ano na? Ang atong letter A. Ang atong letter A, ha? O, tara dila, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Ang ato ang winning coalition. So, is 4. To find BPI-A, we'll look under the critical voters column and find that A is a critical voter 4 times das. So, ito siya. Ato na pong isolve, ha? Si BPI-A kay 4. 4 divided by 4 equals 1. And si BPI-B, kani siya, is 0 divided by 4. O kani po si letter C, 0 divided by 4. Ang ano silang nag-0? Kay wala man, dili man sila mga critical voter. So, dili sila critical voter. So, 0 jud sila. This A has all the power. This is expected in a dictatorship pod siya. So, example na ako sa dire sa pagkuan is natay Mayor A o Mayor B. So, si Mayor natay ko na tulo ka botante. So, palabuanay. Kung kinsa tong makakuan, kung si voter B o voter C is si voter B ning boto siya sa Mayor A, then si voter C is ning boto siya sa Mayor B. So, kinsa ang nahimong critical voter? So, si letter A. If ever nga atong gipangayo is 4 ang quota. 4 ang quota. But, si letter A is equivalent niya is 4. Then, si letter B, equivalent niya is 3. O si letter C, equivalent niya is 2. So, ipagad sila, ligyapon. Di sila himong critical voter. Kalagpas naman siya sa atong quota. So, si letter A ra ang nahimong critical voters. Mao ang akong pagka-understand sa ako ang report gavan sa power index. So, kung dili ni kuan ma'am is siya na jud kay kani jud ang ako ang explanation sa ako ang report. And thank you and God bless you all.
So God bless everyone. My name is Chancellor Rico. This is my report, Bansab Power Index Alternative Definition. This is the formula BPI, which means Bansab Power Index. BPI of A equals BI Bansab Index of A over sum of all Bansab Index for the voting system. So ang goal nato is pangitawon ng BPI ni A. So mao ni ang given. Applying this definition to the voting system given above, we have BPI A, which means Bansab Power Index of A equals BI A, which means Bansab Index of A over BIA Bansab Index of A plus BIB Bansab Index of B plus BIC Bansab Index of C plus BID Bansab Index of D. So, ang value ni BIA is 10. Imong i-copy over value ni BIA gyapon kay 10 gyapon siya plus value ni BIB is 6. Value ni BIC is 6 gyapon plus value ni BID is 2 equals i-copy ra nimo ang 10 equals 10 over i-plus nimo ang 10 plus 6 plus 6 plus 2. So ang result nila is 24. So kaning 10 over 24 i-divide nimo siya 2. So 10 divided by 2 equals 5. Then 24 divided by 2 is equals 12. So mao ni ang final answer, 5 over 12. So mao ni siya ang ipangita sa Bansab Power Index of A. That's all. Thank you. God bless. Bye-bye.